Hello and welcome to my channel. It's a Tailored Life. My name is Taylor. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're not new here, thank you so much for returning. I really appreciate it. Today's video is going to have tons of cleaning motivation, but it's actually a sick day clean with me. If you cannot tell from my voice, which I'm starting to get my voice back, I was actually very sick this week. So were my boys. They were also sick. We're all starting to feel a lot better. Like the boys are much better now. They were actually sick first, and then I got sick after them. So we're all on the up and up now. But on this day, I wanted to clean the house and just kind of disinfect all the spaces that we spend a lot of time in. I wanted to start in the kitchen because from the night before and that morning, there was like medication and tea, things that we were using to just try to feel better. It was all left out because I was just absolutely exhausted. So when I had a burst of energy, I decided to clean up. And I just wanted to show you guys what podcast I'm going to be listening to while I am cleaning. I was definitely looking for some type of like motivation or something to help me get up and clean because I was not feeling well, and I knew I just wanted to do like a basic clean. Like I didn't have to deep clean the entire house, but I definitely wanted to disinfect just so that I could have peace of mind knowing that I'm getting rid of some of the germs that are lingering around from all of us being sick. We all had like a pretty bad cough and everything. So all of the areas and surfaces that we touch a lot, I definitely wanted to disinfect those spaces, but I also wanted to put things away because at this point I still wasn't feeling my best. And sometimes it's easier for me to relax when I know things are clean and I don't have a huge mess waiting for me. So I had a little bit of energy and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get as much done as I possibly can. And that morning I ran out to the grocery store and I just picked up some fruit to make us some fruit salads. I also grabbed some like cookies and a few other snacks just to also have some comfort food for while we were lounging around on the couch trying to feel better. I wanted to have both options available. I didn't have very many dishes in the sink to put in the dishwasher because I had not been cooking. Between me feeling like really exhausted and the boys, they also weren't having very much of an appetite, and neither was I. The only pots I had were the pots that I had been using to warm up water on the stove to make some tea just to kind of soothe everyone's throats. For the most part, my husband was like just bringing home takeout. I feel like we did takeout for like 2 to 3 days because every day, like I would tell myself like, oh, I'm going to cook tonight. I'm going to make us something hearty and healthy to help us feel better. But around like 6 p.m., my energy would just go down so bad. Like I barely could help out with the evening routines and getting the boys ready for bed. I was just ready to go to bed myself just every day at about 7 p.m. So now I'm going to take everything off of the counter so that I can give them a really good wipe down. I used pine sol, and I did put a splash of bleach because like I said, whenever we're sick, I definitely always want to disinfect. And I also took away my toaster oven that was on the counter. It's been in that spot since I got it, but I wanted to, I haven't cleaned underneath it since I got it because we don't do much over in that area anymore because the toaster oven is there, but I still just wanted to give underneath the toaster oven a really good wipe down. But I want you guys to let me know later, because I'm thinking about, well, you guys will see, I was thinking about moving it to a different spot on the kitchen counter, because it is kind of a bother when I'm making a large meal and I'm using all 4 spots on the stove. My handles for my pots can't stick out easily because the toaster oven is kind of in the way. So I had been thinking about moving it. I like the idea of having it right next to the oven, because sometimes I would make sides on the stove and have like some type of meat or something cooking in the toaster oven, and it was all right there in one spot. But it does take up the entire space on the counter right there. So I'm going to put it back in a different spot later, and you guys tell me what you think, if I should keep it there or if I should move it. So now that the surfaces are all clean, I'm going to put everything back, and you guys can see I'm kind of checking out, trying to see how I feel about the toaster oven being here. So let me know. And as you can see now, I have more free space on both sides of the stove, but you guys let me know, would you leave it next to the stove on the counter over there, or would you put it on the other side of the kitchen counter? I do have a really small kitchen and I don't have a lot of counter space, so I'm always trying to be really mindful when I'm putting things on the counter, just to make sure that I'm using my space the best way possible, if that makes sense. So let me know in the comments if you think I should move it or leave it where it is. And now the kitchen is all clean and disinfected. I don't have to worry about a bunch of germs in here. Now, normally I would want to move into our family room and dining room area, but I wanted to go work in my bedroom next, because that is where we were also spending a lot of time. All 4 of us were sleeping in my bedroom together, and it looked similar to the kitchen. There was just a lot of like medicine and blankets and things thrown around that needed to be put back in their place. But I also wanted to wash all of our sheets and pillowcases. Whenever anyone gets sick in the house, I always try to make sure that we keep the blankets and the sheets and pillowcases really clean, because I feel like they definitely hold germs, and it's kind of a shared space. So I don't want to have one of my boys like wipe their nose on our comforter and my husband comes and lays on it or something, and we're just spreading the colds all around in the house. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in the wash. I'm going to use some of the Lysol laundry disinfectant, and I'm also just going to put in just a splash of bleach. I don't want to bleach my comforter, but I definitely want to just give it a little bit of extra help with getting rid of any germs that may be lingering on the comforter, because my 3-year-old son Lincoln, he slept in the bed with us, which he sleeps in the bed with us often at night, but during the day, like both of the boys would be in the bed, all four of us would be in the bed. And my 8-year-old son Jackson, he slept in our son Lincoln's toddler bed. He has his own room and his own bed, but I just prefer, especially when the kids aren't feeling good, I'm not feeling good, I prefer to kind of have everybody close at night. Just so I can kind of keep an eye on everybody. If you need any medication or anything like that, you don't feel well, I can easily get up and help whoever. After I got the sheets off, I did open up the windows just to kind of let some fresh air in. Anytime we're sick, that's something that I also like to do, just to let some air in, kind of let some of the sick air out and get some fresh air flowing through the house. As I was trying to finish up cleaning in my room, I think Lincoln started to not feel well also. So you guys will definitely see him kind of hanging around. He was asking me to lay down with him. Anytime he goes to bed, he's usually asking me to lay down with him. So he was ready for bed. It was fairly early in the day, but I will say at this point, my energy also started to go down. And I started to feel so tired that I started to regret putting our sheets in the wash, because my other set, I keep an extra set of sheets. My other set of sheets, they weren't clean either because I had just taken them off the day before, but I had zero energy to actually wash them. So they were in the dirty clothes pile, and I was like, I need to get another set on. And so I wanted to just wash these. But once I was putting them in, I was like completely timing this out in my head because I was exhausted. So my hope was that I could mop my room floor, because I did want to mop in here just because, again, with the germs, it just gives me so much peace of mind to kind of wipe down any surfaces that I can. So once I wiped down like all of our nightstands and dressers with the disinfecting wipes, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go a step further and just go ahead and mop in here and make sure I get all of these areas clean. But Lincoln was definitely like hanging around, ready to go to bed and like ready for me to stop. And I don't know if you can see, the sun was still shining. It was still fairly early in the day, but we just weren't feeling well at this point. Now, I will say, after I finish mopping the floor, I do wait for my sheets and my comforter to dry. And at this point, like, my husband helped me put the fitted sheet on, which is why you don't see me put that on the bed. My husband helped me, and I was like, no, I got it from here. And as I was trying, my energy just completely tanked, you guys. I did not finish making up my bed. Like, I did the basics, and then I like called my husband in, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. I can't get much else done for the day. So I took a shower after this, and I just like called it a night. And I was telling myself, you know, like, hopefully I feel better tomorrow. I'll give it a try tomorrow. So this is now the next day. Like, I did not finish my bed. I went, took a shower, and I was like, I'll try again tomorrow. So now it's the next day, and I'm finally going to tackle our family room and living room area. It is such a mess out here, you guys, because like I said, we were just going to bed every night. There's like mess on the floor from where Lincoln was eating dinner, and I just had zero energy. Some nights, like, I was kind of leaving my husband hanging where the kids would still be out in the family room with him, and I would just go lay down and get in bed, and they would all come to bed whenever they were ready to go to bed, because I would just leave my husband like, you got it from here. He has not had any symptoms like us. Like, he's not been sick like us at all. I'm hoping that he doesn't get sick at all as we're all getting over it, because with our boys, they were sick first, and I don't normally get sick every single time they get sick. Like, very rarely, every once in a while will they catch a cold, and then I'll catch one also. So this time around, my younger son Lincoln, he got sick first. And I was just expecting my older son Jackson to get sick, because usually whenever one gets sick, the other does too. So I was expecting Jackson. I was not expecting it for myself at all. So I'm hoping that my husband does not catch anything, because I did not start to feel sick until about, I want to say like a few days after the boys were sick. So they had been sick for a few days. It was getting ready to get better for them. And then I got sick. And so the days that they were constantly feeling better, my energy was going down. We did have a few days overlapping, but like right now, today, they're in school. They're both feeling much better. They do kind of have a little bit of a cough left, not nearly as bad as it was earlier in the week, but everybody is starting to feel better. I have a little bit more energy for sure myself, and my cough is better. My throat is better. Yesterday, I sounded horrible. Like I could barely talk without coughing. So I definitely feel better being able to like carry out a full conversation right now. So the last thing I wanted to do before I finished up was also mop this area. Just the same thing, go over it with some hot water and Pine Sol, just to do what I can. And again, the same thing was happening on this day. Like, I was starting to feel really tired, but I was actually really satisfied because I had gotten so much cleaning done, and I wasn't so much worried about all of the germs that we had going on still lingering in the house. As we were starting to feel better, I just felt good knowing that most of that would be out of the house. So once I finished mopping, I was all done. I went and I took another hot shower. I made some hot tea, and I just relaxed for the rest of the day. So I should be back to normal by next week. You guys can definitely expect to see more videos from me. I really hope you all enjoyed today's video and got some motivation. Please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't done so already, and I will see you all next time. Bye.